What's up, church media pros? My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things church media production, and sometimes we do advertising. Today I want to give you an update on all of the things that I'm doing to buy gear for a satellite campus, and I want to show you ways to save money. Check it out. All right, let's jump right into the screen here. I'm going to go to Sheets. So I have found some killer deals, guys, on some gear that in a time of inflation, at a time of rising costs in general, you know, gas prices are up, these sorts of things. I mean, we have gear that's hard to find because of shortages in chips and all this stuff. I am finding amazing deals, sticking to on my budget. I've got a $30,000 budget to completely outfit a new campus and run it almost exactly like our main campus, guys. We're going to have you know, 4 wireless handhelds, 4 wireless in-ear packs. We're going to have a full drum kit with drum mics. We're going to have keys with running Sunday sounds. We're going to have a laptop running multi-tracks to trigger the screens. So the screens will be using ProPresenter. We're going to have a projector, a very large projection screen, and all of this plus lighting, plus direct boxes and cables, the whole 9 yards, for $30,000. And I know to some of you that seems like a lot of money, but we are doing the best possible you know, satellite campus we can, and we've got Meyer sounds in the air for our tops, as well as a Meyer sub on the floor. And I'm going to go through all of this right now in my spreadsheet here. So Meyer UPA 1Ps, man, if you can find these, and I will give you a hint. If you check out another video before about my secret place to find great used gear, it's the best place to save on high-end audio equipment, guys. Go check that out. I'll link it in the description. I'm not going to mention in this video because I want you to find it yourself. It's kind of my industry secret, if you will, on how to find sweet gear. And if you find that video, guys, I'm gonna tell you another secret. Go call them. Don't just rely on what's on their search. Go call them, ask them if they have anything specific. Usually they will. So anyway, enough with that. Just a hidden Easter egg there for you. Meyer UPA 1Ps are going to be a killer sound system. They're the best powered speaker you can find. I believe they're 12-inch woofers, so they're nothing huge. They're not going to be projecting to more than 100 people, 150 people tops with these, but they're the best sounding small powered speaker, and they're gonna outpower just about anything that you can find at Guitar Center that's a 15-inch or less, guys. So it's gonna sound better, it's gonna last longer, it's gonna be powered. Might be a little heavy, but it's gonna have rigging points and all these things, so check those out. Those are amazing. I got a killer deal on those. $4,000 out the door for 2, and typically, guys, these are running, you know, I do not think they make them anymore. I think they're discontinued, but they're still some of the best powered speakers out there. You can find parts for them. Meyer still supports them. They will repair them for you. There's a Meyer repair station, even though it's a German company. There's a Meyer repair station out in California that you can send them to. I've sent them some of my gear and got it back in a really reasonable amount of time, actually. So I cannot recommend them enough. And if you find the video that recommends where I buy those from, check those out. So the Midas M32, this is a fun one, guys. So this is where you can kind of play the games, like how can I best use my budget. So I could have bought a Midas M32 for this new campus for $3,500. That's about what they're going for, used on eBay right now. So instead of that, though, I wanted to upgrade my live stream system. In fact, I hired an awesome new live stream guy who's doing a lot of our video production right now as well during the week, and he's doing a killer job. Well, he wanted to upgrade our live stream audio system to a DAW so that we can have more consistent sound, especially with some Waves plugins and these sorts of things. So we were able to do that with a Mac Studio, with the Behringer X-Touch, and a nice new 1820 Scarlett for all as under the price of what it would cost to buy an M32 for our new campus, so I went that route instead. So we already had a monitor. Logic was $200. The Mac Studio we found used on eBay for less than $2,000, which is fantastic because I think they go for upwards of $2,200 new. It came in its original box. It was still under warranty. It was a fantastic buy, so I went with that. The X Touch came from another church, guys. It was the expanded version with not only the 8 faders and the scrub controls, but also an 8 fader bank, so it feels the same as our current X32 that we're running at the live stream console. Got the Scarlett on eBay as well for cheaper than I would otherwise, and got that price to $31.80 with shipping, with tax, all of that included. So I'm saving $300 right there, not buying an Midas M32. Gonna send an X32 over to this campus. But the cool thing is, guys, you don't really need the Midas, especially if you're not using the preamp. So I actually purchased the Behringer S32, which has the Midas preamps in it. Not a lot of people know this. The Behringer S32 is a 32 channel preamp digital snake that has the Midas pre's in it. So you're using the Midas pre, so you're not losing anything by using the X32, and you get the functionality of all of these Behringer products together. I'm using an X32 rack for my monitor mix, and that's not going to have any inputs, so it doesn't matter what you're running through that, as far as all the digital conversions the same, whether you're doing the M or the Behringer, right? The Midas or the Behringer. Either way, it's going to be the same A to D converter, so it really doesn't matter what you're using as far as that goes, and all the functionality is the same. So you're getting the ability to run your monitor mixes on their application, which is fantastic. Most of our volunteers have run the M32 mix, or the Mix 32, or whatever the Behringer app is called. I can't remember that because we use the Yamaha stuff at our main campus. But beyond that, guys, I haven't purchased all of these yet, but I'm seeing a Sennheiser IEM G3s in the, 600 is a little bit cheap. I may have to go, second hand, or not only second hand, but maybe even to something a little bit more experimental. I haven't figured this out yet, so I'm going to move on from that. But I did find two, not just one, but two of the Shure wired IEMs for $550, $225 a piece at a. I just did a really thorough search of the internet, guys. Most of these were actually out of stock. B&H didn't have them in stock. Sweetwater didn't have them in stock. They're all in. I think there maybe a change going on in the product, but I still love the original Shure wired drum packs, and they work perfect for the drummer. The drummer's not going to get up and walk away, right? So he's got to stay in his place. Might as well have them wired. The only thing you have to worry about with those packs is the 9-volt battery. Occasionally needs changed out. I highly recommend doing that once a week if you have multiple services, or once every 2 weeks if you only have one service. And so I did wired drum packs. Going to save me a ton of money there over doing the wireless, to be honest. And then I still need to find an antenna combiner, but I'm finding that the generic off-brand, Chinese-made, non-branded stuff in the antenna combiners is the way to go right now, because for $500 versus upwards of $1,000, $1,500, even $2,000 for a Sennheiser branded antenna combiner, I can do it for $500 with something off-branded, and that's going to work just as well for an antenna combiner in particular. So I don't want to go off-brand for my IEMs. I don't want to go off-brand for my handhelds, especially because the sound is going to be different. But as far as just getting the radio frequencies into the antennas, well, that's simple, guys. That's not something that's going to sound different depending on your manufacturer. So I'm going to go with the off-brand there. And then this campus won't have it will have a campus pastor, but it won't have a campus speaker. So what I'm going to do here is actually buy a ULXD 4Q, which is the 4-channel Shure wireless mic system. It's not the SLX, it's the just below that. So the SLX is the highest end, or the I believe it's the highest end, and then below that you've got the ULX, and then you got the QLX, and so on. So the ULXD is probably the most commonly used around the country, around the world, guys, as far as the top of the line, or the most bang for the buck. And so this is the most expensive item on the list entirely. So it's a 4-channel system. It's a 1 rack space unit. It's fantastic. It's you know, all of the handhelds sync really easily. You just push the sync button and you get the radio frequency sync through IR on those. It is on retail. It goes for $6,000 before tax, before shipping, all that. It's $6,000 if you buy it new. However, you can scour Reverb if you haven't used that before. Reverb is a fantastic site to get used gear, especially for production and music gear. In particular, they do a lot of guitars, basses. I get all my DIs there when I'm looking for used stuff. But this is a fantastic place. There was one for like $4,400 the other day. Check to make sure that your bands that you're using your wireless frequencies in is still supported by the FCC guys, though, because you want to make sure that you're not using something that's going to be outdated. Like if you want to do a resale at some point, or if you want to upgrade and resell the old one, make sure that you're getting something out of the mid 600 range, because that is space for Wi-Fi and cell phones now. That used to be, I believe they used to call that A-band, but B-band still works. I'm using primarily G-band. We have J-band, we have H-band, we have V-band, all these different bands. Do a Google search on FCC wireless transmitter, radio transmission stuff, to find out which is best for you in your neck of the woods. This is gonna change from US to Canada to Europe and these things. So make sure you're watching out for that. But in the States, I have gotten rid of all my generally A-band stuff. I'm using B-band, I'm using G-band, like I said, primarily. And then the handhelds for this, guys, I'm gonna buy these new between $660 and $700. I would like to pick up the betas. I highly recommend getting the beta 52 version of the Shure handhelds over just the beta 58s. But that's up to you. The beta 58s are going to be $661 per handheld new for the ULX systems, but you can occasionally find those. Now, this is one place I don't like to get used all that often, because just for the sake of the singers, right? So if you buy a used microphone, you know, you don't know how old it is and how much gunk and stuff can get in those grills, how many people with, you know, beards or whatever are using those, lipstick, anything like that is getting into that grill. And they might have cleaned it out, but you just don't know buying it used. So I tend to buy new when it comes to these things. Also in the ULXD line, I recommend buying new anyway, because the batteries can be, you know, will degrade over time, and you want to get the best batteries possible. I believe they come with the rechargeable batteries, but I could be wrong. And the battery holders themselves actually get a little worn out after a while, so buying new is the best way to go on those. I got this smoking deal. Okay, so I got a 27-inch iMac. I got it, actually, this spreadsheet says 1260 or 1060. I was hoping to get it for $1250. I got it for $1060, but I actually, guys, got it for $800 and added a software package into it that made it 1060. So I got, this is where searching Craigslist. If you're in an area where Craigslist works for you, and I highly recommend that you check it out if you don't already in the States, use Craigslist, guys. I did a search for like 25 miles from my office, and didn't get any good results. Raised that up to, I think I went to like 50 miles, and actually found something like 30 miles away from myself for way less than I expected. So I expected to pay at least $1250 for a 27-inch iMac. I got a 2019 with extended RAM that is in immaculate shape for $800 cash. from a guy just outside of that 25-mile radius. So again, if you get on Craigslist, check out the 25-mile radius. That's, I think, what the default is on there, from your location, but then push it 5 miles, push it 20 miles, push it 10 miles, whatever that is, just to get a slightly wider perspective, and you might see things that other people aren't seeing, so you might get a deal there. Pro Presenter license is what it is, $400 per campus. Okay, this is cool. So we actually had an extra Blackmagic ATEM switcher at our main campus that was just being used as a converter. Our LED wall is running 4K. We're running 4K out of Pro Presenter, and the only converter I had at the, up until recently is I had an extra Blackmagic Television Studio 4K. Well, the 4K is necessary for sure for that LED wall. However, we aren't using the switcher function anymore. So I got rid of the switcher, bought myself an inexpensive, I think it was only like $300 for the mini converter to go from HDMI to SDI, which I needed SDI to get down to my my video wall controller. So eliminated turned a $1,000 item into a $300 item, and am able to just move that from my central campus to my to the new campus. Guys, the Resi Prism, the big guy encoder or decoder rather for this campus, we actually already own two. We have one at our current satellite. We're gonna move the other one to the new satellite. The reason we had two in the first place is because you had to have one at your current site and one at the satellite. Initially, when you started running Resi and Fax, it used to be called Living as One, and they didn't have the functionality to be able to watch the playback inside of the app. That there's a browser application that you run when you run Resi, and when that first started, when Resi was first created, you couldn't go online and actually watch the cloud stream. You had to go and you had to buy an extra decoder, watch it in the house, and then type in on their interface the queue times. So as a main campus, putting your queues out to the satellite, you had to do that in-house. And now we actually have an extra Resi Prism, $3,500 purchase, eliminated entirely. So I was able to save massive on that. And then we're gonna have, I don't know, 5 or 6 TVs. So I'm gonna go with the cheapest 50-inch Costco TVs there is. If you don't have a Costco near you, obviously Sam's Club's a great place to go, Walmart, these sorts of places. Get yourself some cheap TVs. You know, if they break, you just replace them. It's not a big deal. Don't spend more than $400 or $500 on a TV anymore, guys. It's just not worth it. Drums, we already have a drum kit. We upgraded to an electronic kit at our central campus in the last couple years, and we just have a full-on drum kit already available. So I don't have that expense. This drum mic kit, I haven't ordered this yet, and I'm gonna save quite a bit, but $1,000 is the way to go. Get the Audix DP7 kit. It's got the most bang for the buck as far as, you know, you get the D6 in the kick, you get some nice overheads, you get some nice tom mics, all that you need for your snare. I think it's the i5 for the snare. All that in one kit. The DP7 is the way to go. But then I think I'm gonna save even more because I got a D6 already from our old drum kit that we don't use anymore. I think I've got some tom mics, some nice Sennheiser tom mics actually, rather than the Audix ones, and I'm gonna save considerably there. Our Adel campus, our satellite campus, just got their own keyboard. They're no longer using their key station, so guys, I'm gonna save a ton of money there, $250. I'm gonna move the key station from that over to the new campus. They're not using the microcontroller. They're using something else right now instead of they purchased their own pad. So the advantage of having a satellite campus open for a little while now. They're starting to get their own upgrades, so you can take gear from old satellites or older satellites and move them to newer satellites, guys. That's a great way to save money. Laptops, this Sunday Keys requires you to run a laptop. I believe now that there is an iPad app now. I believe it's in beta still, so I'm not gonna rely on 100%, but I'm gonna try and find a laptop. And one thing, guys, there are so many laptops right now on eBay, just ready to be picked up. I mean, I'm gonna put down an offer at like $350 on this 2017 Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch. You don't need anything more than this. The i5 is gonna give you plenty of processor power for Sunday Sounds. I'm gonna have to check the RAM on this to make sure it's good, but you know, 8 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, doesn't matter to me if I'm just running, you know, main stage with Sunday Sounds on top of it. It's not gonna tax the system enough really to beat, you know, anything worrisome. So I'm actually I budgeted $700. I wanna overshoot my budget initially. I wanna populate that. I had $30,000. I populated it with everything I had, right? And then I'm whittling it away. So that's, you wanna under promise and over deliver, guys, every time on these big project bids. So you promise them you will spend $30,000 or less, right? And if your senior manager or senior leadership gives you a budget of 30K, 20K, 100K, whatever it is, you know, meet that with the initial outlook. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna go, okay, we need this, 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 and this. I'm gonna go, you know, add up all the best possible gear that I can and see what it adds up to. I think this total was in the neighborhood of, you know, 35,000 when I put all the things I thought would be necessary in, and then I knew it was time to whittle that down. And obviously, guys, I'm right at 30,000 right now, but I do think I'm gonna end up maybe $1,000 or $2,000 under, and that's with a 10% contingency on top of it. And that's a major thing that I recommend everybody do when you're putting together a budget. Put in 10% for, you know, unexpected shipping, miscellaneous cables. It'll also save you if you you know, buy a piece of gear used that isn't as good as you expected. You can either hope to get a return on that, resell it for something else, or just take the loss, and you have that 10% contingency to back you up, guys. And that'll help you, especially if you have, you know, $1,000 item just break on you or something like that, right? Or something breaks in the process of installing, or you know, you forgot something on your list, right? If you forget something on your list, it could be a major deal. Put 10% contingency into every single budget that you create so that you have a little wiggle room, right? You know, I put all these in tax because our church in particular does pay taxes on sales tax. If your church doesn't, factor that in, guys. Make sure that that 7%-ish, that depending on what state you're in, is going to be included in your budget, so that you're not left looking for that extra money at the end. iPad for multi-tracks, you know, guys, one thing I wanted to mention, I actually sell iPads on the side. If you need an iPad or want to support this channel, guys, go over to my eBay store. I'll link to that over here later down below in the description. I'll link to my eBay store. You can pick up, you know, gently used iPads there, guys, and I'll make sure if you want to reach out, I will make sure that they run, you know, I think everything from like an iPad Air 2 and up is going to run all the current applications. So that's what I specialize in, is actually the oldest possible for the cheapest possible price but that still run all the applications, so or the current iOS. So check that out below, guys. That'll severely help the channel if you want to purchase from me. And feel free to reach out. Go to modlabmultimedia.com. You know, fill out the form to talk to me there. That will give me an email in my inbox. Let me know your requests if you want anything specific gear-wise. I do free consultations, guys, for all of this stuff. If you're looking to upgrade your system or got a big project coming up If you need an LED wall, I've got connections there. There's a lot of resources that I've got over the last 20 years being in this industry that I'd be happy to pass on for little to no charge. If you're gonna ask for my help getting an LED wall, I will be charging for some of that service because it's so specialized, but just about everything else, I'm going to send you, an Amazon affiliate link to my recommendation, or a B&H affiliate link, or a Sweetwater affiliate link, or something where I get a little bit of commission off the sale at least, but I'm going to give you that for free. It's not going to cost you any more. That affiliate link isn't going to cost you any more. So guys, feel free to reach out to me with any budgeting stuff in particular. I love doing this, especially like I geek out on this in my spare time, trying to find the best deals. So direct boxes, guys, get a stereo direct box for your keys. Don't forget to be stereo for your keys. It's going to help separate the sound spectrum. Mono for guitars, obviously. I highly recommend going with radial on any direct box in particular, but MXR does a fantastic job too, especially for bass DI, so check those out. And I got those pretty cheap on reverb.com. Again, Reverb is a fantastic place to shop. In fact, that's another place where I sell, so if you want to support the channel there, go over to my store there. I will link to both Reverb, an affiliate link that I have for Reverb, as well as my shop in the description below if you want to help support the channel, guys. But look for cheap production gear here. In fact, I'm going to type in that Shure ULX-D 4Q just to show you what's available. ULX-D, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. So yeah, there's the retail versions right here, 6200, 6500, brand new, used, very good. It's hard to get these actually new right now, so that's why the price is inflated. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, $4,400. This one is a steal, guys, in great shape. Talked to the owner, did not actually buy this one because I found one slightly cheaper on eBay. I actually ended up going with 4 singular units and spending just about $4,200, but this one is an all combined unit. Don't need a combiner for the antennas for $4,400. And so somebody buy this. This guy could use the cash, I'm sure, but it would be a help to him. And this is the J50, so that's the range there. I'm in the G50 range primarily, and that's another reason why I didn't go with J50 and purchase this one. But watch out. So V50 is a little bit lesser used in the States. See Estonia over here, that's pretty interesting. Stay away from, I think I saw the H50. I've never used the H band in the States, so make sure you're getting the band that you want here. Again, I think the G50 band and the J50A band is the way to go with the Shure stuff, so check those out. And last but not least, guys, we got some lighting things. I had some extra pars left over from my central campus when we updated our light pars. Check out the video about that if you want to know the best, I think, in my opinion, the best way to front light your stage. There's a video, I'll try to put that in the description below as well. And then for lighting control, the Akai, it's like an MPC based trigger system. It's got a bunch of trigger buttons, but also some faders at the bottom. I find that's the best way to go, especially if you're using light key. So I do need to add my light key license into this before I finish up here, but that's part of the contingency, right? So I forgot adding light key to the software package, so I'm going to have to add that to my 10% contingency. That contingency should cover all your cable needs, guys. You shouldn't need more than 5 to 7% for cabling. HDMIs, obviously. Oh, and projection, guys. We had 3 projectors before we got our LED wall, so I've got plenty of projectors to add to my my satellite. So if you're wondering where the projector is, that's where it came from. We used to have a triple wide video projection wall, right? Edge blended between all 3. Well, we're not using that anymore because we got an LED wall, so we have plenty of projectors. Make sure you look at used inventory in your own building first Maybe even call up some of your buddies, take out, you know, the biggest church in town. Go visit them, say, hey, what do you guys got for old gear? Can I have it? You know, a lot of them will just give it away because they're not using it. They want to be generous to other churches, right? We're all on the same team, guys. We're all leading people towards Jesus. And so we actually have a policy at our church that we don't sell old gear. We might reuse it at another campus, but we more often than not, we're giving it away to other churches in the area, other churches in our denomination, other churches, you know, obviously coming satellites and these sorts of things. So hold on to that used gear and give it away or give it to new campuses, guys. It'll save you in the long run. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I look forward to helping you with your upcoming projects, upcoming you know, satellites, upcoming you know, video wall, whatever you guys need, let me know and I'll help you out. I know video and audio in particular. Lighting, I'm not as great at, so please don't call me about lighting projects, but I can point you in the right direction as far as front lights go, but movers and stuff I tend to stay away from. So let me know if you have video and audio needs. Both of those I have heavy background in. So so feel free to reach out on any of those projects, guys. So with that, thank you so much for watching and God bless.